practitioner here at the Calgary Center for Spiritual Living, and I'm grateful to be leading our meditation this morning. So, whether you're here or whether you're joining us on the live stream, know that you're welcome. Just get comfy and cozy. Put yourself in a space where you can just release and be. So when you're ready, and if you're ready, close your eyes and take a nice, beautiful breath. Right inside, pull beautiful, life-giving air through your nose. And a beautiful release as you exhale. Such a simple thing to do, but who knew a breath meant so much? You are participating in life when you breathe. You're participating in a reciprocal relationship with all that's around you every time you take a breath. And it's something we do without thinking about it every day. All day. And it's such a powerful thing to take a moment and take a conscious breath. So take a breath and breathe in through your nose and notice, what does that feel like? Is the air cool against my nostril? How does it feel rushing down your throat? Can you imagine each little branch within your lung receiving this beautiful breath? And then when you let it go, do it nice and slowly. And imagine each little part of your lung releasing the air, releasing this breath. And as you let it off into the world, you know that that breath is moving on to become something else. The air that was once in your lungs will go out into the world to create something new. And before it was air in your lungs, it was something else. I love this way of participating in the world. Something so simple as taking a breath becomes a gift. A gift to this wonderful world we live in. This wonderful, frosty, 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 frosty world. Take a breath. The air in here is a little cool this morning, so when I breathe in, I can feel that cold air rushing through my nose. I can feel it filling my lungs. And as I breathe out, I can feel the release of so much more than just a breath. As I breathe out, I can release tension that I'm feeling in my shoulders. I can release hurt. I can release grief. As I breathe out, I can release loving energy. When I breathe out, I can release healing. I can put an intention in that breath. That's so powerful. So what do we want to release? What is it that you want to release? If the breath the next breath you take is a healing breath. What are you going to release with the next exhale? Is it love? Is it pain? What intention do you want to place on that breath? Because I know after this meditation this morning, not every breath I take will be a conscious breath. So maybe if I set an intention, today, when I breathe in, I'm breathing in love. Today, when I breathe in, I'm breathing in community. Today, when I breathe in, I'm breathing in peace. Today, when I breathe in, I'm breathing in jubilance. Wow. I'm not sure if that's a word, but it feels good. So those are my intentions. I'm setting the intention that today when I breathe in, I am filling my lungs and myself and my spirit with joy and peace and jubilation and love. And when I exhale, I am letting go of old hurt. When I exhale, I'm going to share some of that love. When I exhale, I'm letting go of the things that don't serve me. And when I exhale, I feel a sense of harmony with the universe because I am participating in a reciprocal relationship. The universe and I are one. And together as one, we do a dance. Giving, receiving, being together. So when I sit in intention, I then sit in joyful expectation, knowing that all that I release into the world, all that I place as my intention, returns to me always, pressed down and overflowing every time, always. And now more than at any other time in the year, that sort of feels like the place to be. To be in this joyful expectation. As a child, you would wait for Santa Claus with joyful expectation. And as we get older, maybe it turns from Santa Claus to something else. You know that this is the one day a year, the one time of year where you can look at a stranger and smile at them and joyfully expect a smile in return. Now that happens all year long, but there's a little more of a free energy at this point of the year where giving and receiving even something as small as a smile feels natural and beautiful and reciprocated. Wouldn't it be so lovely and wonderful when the time comes that we live in joyful expectation all day, every day, knowing that the intentions that we set what we create in our mental equivalent is ours. We get to live in it and experience all the love we are giving. We get to live in and experience all the joy we are giving. And living in that joyful expectation is such a beautiful feeling. This anticipation that all is beautiful and that you will see and experience that which you've created in your mind, that you've created in your heart, and created in harmony with the universe. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost nipping at your nose. Yuletide carols being sung by a choir. Folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe help to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight. They know that Santa's on his way. He's loaded lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh. And every mother's child is gonna spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly. And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you. And there's a song about joyful expectation right there. So let's take another breath together. Breathe in and release that breath into the world. Play the game. Be part of life. Consciously choose these experiences. Right now you've experienced a breath. What else will you experience today? When you're ready, sort of bring yourself back to the space. You can wiggle your toes, you can wiggle your nose, fingers, whatever it is that brings you back into where you are right now. And take another big breath and blow it out. Thank you for being part of this morning's meditation. Blessings to you. Happy holidays. Wake up, mama, wake up. Santa Claus was here. Milk and cookies are all gone, and there are presents everywhere. Yesterday I had my doubts, but today I sure believe it's a holy moly morning after a Merry Christmas Eve. Holy moly, mama, have you ever seen such a sight? Christmas came to our house after we went to bed last night. I'll never doubt again, yes, Santa's real to me. It's a holy moly morning after a Merry Christmas Eve. Tried to stay up all night long to hear the reindeer on the roof. Jimmy said Santa wasn't real, and Mama, I needed proof. Might have missed those jingle bells, but the truth's under the tree. It's a holy moly morning after a Merry Christmas Eve. Holy moly, mama, have you ever seen such a sight? Christmas came to our house after we went to bed last night. I'll never doubt again, yes, Santa's real to me. It's a holy moly morning after a Merry Christmas Eve. Put out the milk, put out the cookies, and you tuck me into bed. Tell me a story about sugar plums dancing in my head. Pull out the covers, tell me you love me, then you kiss me on the cheek. Say that Santa's coming soon, so you better get some sleep. Holy moly, mama, have you ever seen such a sight? Christmas came to our house after we went to bed last night. I'll never doubt again, yeah, Santa's real to me. It's a holy moly morning after a Merry Christmas Eve. Oh, holy moly, after a Merry Christmas Eve.
Yes, folks, you saw it here. Accordion music. Accordion to me, that was pretty cool. Hi, everybody. How are ya? It's wonderful to see everybody here. I know we got some new people, so I'm going to welcome them in just a moment and introduce you to me. I'm Pat Campbell. I am the spiritual director of the center here. And if you've never been to a Center for Spiritual Living, a few things you need to know. We are a faith tradition that honors all faith traditions. So as you could see on our opening slide here, we have season's greetings and Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah, which starts right around the same time. Merry Winter Solstice, which is December 21st, and Kwanzaa comes after Christmas. So whatever winter holiday you celebrate, you're very, very welcome here. As you can see, going around the sides of the slide, that there are representations of many of the faith traditions. We talk about this every week. It's really important to us so that we understand that however you got here, whatever faith tradition speaks to you, you are part of us. Each one of us has a divine spark. Each one of us is here to express that divine essence within us into the world to give our gift. So I just want to welcome everybody here and also welcome our live stream people. I don't blame you for staying home today. If you're not here in Calgary, you don't know, but it's really cold. And it's going to get colder from my understanding. So everybody in the audience, turn around and wave. My George Clooney is gone, but wave where George Clooney used to hang out up there. And we are a community. We are a hybrid community. We've got people who come in person, and we've got our live stream, love stream people as well. So everybody, well, you are so welcome here. What I would like to ask is, if you are here for the first time, if you would be willing to raise your hand. We don't want to embarrass you. We just want to say hi to you. I partied with you last night at Dog Christmas. Yes, I did. So we just got a brochure for you, and just know that you're absolutely welcome here, and thanks so much for coming. You're going to get lots of really great Christmas music today. I can guarantee that. The song that Elevation did to open us up is a song that Amy wrote, Holy Moly Christmas. So love that one. Holy moly. And we're going to sing what we call our conch song. So let's sing together, and it's Let It Snow.
Stopping, and I brought some corn for popping. The lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. When we finally kiss goodnight, how I'll hate going out in the storm. But if you really hold me tight, all the way home I'll be warm. The fire is slowly dying, and my dear, we're still goodbye. As long as you love me so, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Well, it doesn't show signs of stopping, and I brought some corn for popping. And the lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. When we finally kiss goodnight, how I'll hate going out in the storm. But if you really hold me tight, all the way home I'll be warm. The fire is slowly dying, and my dear, we're still goodbying. As long as you love me so, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Let it snow, let it snow, let it
We got some pretty great music, don't we? That's awesome. So kids, it's time for you guys to go to Funday school. So we'll see you in fun. Bye. We'll see you in a bit. Adios, amigo. So we have a whole lot of things that are happening here at the center, and I don't want to rush through them. I kind of rushed through them last week because we had a long service, but I don't want to rush through them. So plan on being here 3 hours so I can go through all the announcements, okay? I'm just kidding. Okay, so the first one I want to talk about is next week. Instead of having a Christmas Day service, we're not going to be open because it's on a Sunday. We're going to have a Christmas Eve service. And And if you're looking for a more traditional type of service, today isn't it. Next week will be much more traditional. Christmas candle lighting with traditional music and readings and that type of thing put together by our ministers and practitioners. It's going to be absolutely lovely. But it is on Saturday at 10, not Sunday at 10:30. So just if you show up Sunday at 10:30, you're having a party of one, because we won't be here, and hopefully you won't show up. Also, we're asking people to bring holiday cookies so that we can really munch out on those and have some coffee and some fellowship together. So do you have anything further you want to say about that, Neil, about the cookie exchange or anything? Okay, bring them to eat. Bring them to eat. I like that. I like that. Okay, so that's next Sunday. And then the following Saturday morning, I did not change that slide. Could you change that for me, my heroes? Thank you. Our annual World Peace Meditation. So let me tell you what this is. In 1986, a man by the name of John Randolph Price came up with the idea that we would all come together and meditate and pray for world peace at the same time on the same day every year. So that time, or that day, is December 31st. So it's Saturday, December 31st. Thank you, guys. At 5 a.m. That is not a typo. 5 a.m. Don't come at 5 p.m. Come at 5 a.m. And we're going to be together, and we're going to also live stream it for our Love Stream people. And we're going to pray and meditate for peace. And it's a beautiful, meaningful, deep thing that you do. It will be one of your favorite things that you do all year. I guarantee it. There's something very peaceful about that. So, and the reason why it's at 5 a.m., I forgot to explain that, is that it's December 31st at noon Greenwich Mean Time, which makes it 5 a.m. Here in Mountain Time. And so I hope to see lots of you. If you would like to participate in that, sing a song, read a reading, anything like that, talk to Lance, who is here today, and let him know you would like to be part of that service. Or Love Stream people, if you would like to, you can send him an email. And then we're going to go to breakfast afterwards at the truck stop, which is not called the truck stop, but that's what I call it. Blackfoot. Oh, it is called the truck stop over there, and we're going to let them know. So could we maybe see a show of hands of how many people are planning on going to that? I got a half a hand here. She said, I'll show up at 5:30. Okay, so it's looking like maybe a dozen so far. You're going to change your minds, and you're going to wake up and you're going to want to go. But anyway, just so that we can let the restaurant know approximately how many people will be showing up that day. Okay, so just to get the timing clear, Saturday morning at 5, you come here for peace meditation. Saturday night, you party. Sunday morning, you come here for our regular service, but it's not going to be a regular service because we're going to do a burning bowl for the end of the year. It's going to end of the year, beginning of the year. So I hope to see lots of people for that. Okay, that's that one. A new class that is starting. Meditation is more than you think. How many of you meditate? How many of you meditate more than one way? Okay, pretty good. So, and the reason why I'm asking that is a lot of people just think that meditation means that you sit in the lotus position with your fingers like this and Om or whatever. And this class is called Meditation is More Than You Think, because meditation is more than you think. We're going to talk about walking meditations, labyrinth meditations. We're going to talk about open eye meditation, closed eye meditation, guided mantra, all kinds of, let me say that in Canadian, mantra. All kinds of different ways, and each week we'll do 2 different meditations and talk about the experiences. So it's quite wonderful. It is an accredited class, CSL accredited class. So those of you who are thinking you want to move on, this would be a great class for you. There's more information online and on the website. What else we got? Okay, I told you we had a lot. So we have just discovered our Discover team. How many of you have been new here and had an opportunity to meet with somebody from the Discover team and felt very welcomed as a result? I'm not seeing a single hand. Yes, okay, yes. Well, so these are people who are here to talk to you about the center, to give you more information, to show you around. They're absolutely lovely. And we've got 2 events for the Discover team. The first one on Sunday, January 8th, right after service is Wrap with the Rev. We're going to have a light lunch, and you're going to get to hear a little bit about my story and what brought me into this teaching and how I'm using it in my own life. And you're going to get a chance to talk, get to know one another. And then 2 weeks later, the Discover actual class is Sunday right after service, and this is going to get a little bit more into the meat of the teaching. So if you would like to plan on that, you could let your Discover host know, which today I believe is Lucille and Suzanne. Is that correct? And so they can see you afterwards and get some more information about these courses that are going on. And then finally, our ongoing groups, Consciousness Seekers, Mondays at 7. These are all on Zoom. Coffee with Dr. Pat, the Saging Circle on Saturdays at 10. The hiking group kind of goes on and off. They're on hiatus right now. And to tell you one more thing, boy, I wish I knew what that was. Oh, the bookstore. Oh, the bookstore is open. The bookstore is open, all kinds of cool things in there to get like last minute gifts or anything like that. So go into the soul shop. Okay, everybody take a breath. That's a lot of stuff. If you missed anything, it's in the newsletter and it is on the website as well if you need any more further information. So what we're going to do now is that we're going to kind of set aside all the busyness and we're going to go into the more sacred part of the service. And so Amy is going to lead us in a chant. And then she also, because Amy is a licensed practitioner, is also going to give us our spiritual mind treatment, which is our form of affirmative prayer. So I would like to invite any ministers or practitioners who are in the room today to please come forward and lend your loving support to this. These people are here to serve you. So if you have anything going on in your life, then you'd like to have prayer support. Oh, what a beautiful bevy of everybody in black. Oh, I match kind of sort, and you match kind of sort. We planned that. There was a memo, apparently. You kind of got it. You kind of got it. Accordion to who? Okay, I'm done. Possibly. So anyway, I'm going to just invite you to go within and allow Amy's voice to just take you there.
Love reflecting love, one with the divine, peace expressing heaven bright. I am light, reflecting light. Love reflecting love. I'm one with the divine. Peace expressing heaven bright. I am light, reflecting light. So in this moment, I take a breath and know that there is only one light. One life, expressing all life. One love pouring itself into all love. One light, creating all light. And that light pours itself into me. I am an expression of
is this light. Everything I am is this light. There's no place within me where this spirit is not. So I am light. And I know that for myself, and I know it for all those here. I am that light. And so knowing this, I move into this day, into this life with joyful expectation. Knowing that each moment is a blessing. Knowing that each time my heart beats, it's a gift. Each breath I take is a breath of God. So I breathe deeply. And I feel that light, that love, that spirit of God, that spirit of love flow within me. And I look out into the world, seeing with these eyes of love. And each person I see is a reflection of that light. Each person that moves in and out of my orbit is a reflection of the love that I am. And that goes for all of us. So when I walk into the world today and every day, I walk as a being of light. And I experience love and light. I know this is the truth for me, and I accept it for each of us. And knowing this, I am so grateful. And with gratitude, I release these words into the law, knowing that they are returned to me, pressed down and overflowing every time. And we can affirm this together by saying, and so it is. Love reflecting love, one with the divine, peace expressing, heaven bright. I am light, reflecting light. And now let's read together our vision statement. The Calgary Center for Spiritual Living is a beacon of spiritual illumination that inspires individuals to reveal their wholeness, co-creating a world that works for everyone. And together we'll read our mission statement. The Calgary Center for Spiritual Living makes accessible a way of living and thinking that reveals one's spiritual magnificence and personal power. We co-create an inclusive community that fosters an expansion of consciousness.
Thank you, Amy and staff. And thank you, my fellow beloveds. Absolutely wonderful. So, remember when I said that next week's service is going to be a little bit more traditional versus today's service? This is one of the reasons why I said that. So please hold on to your hats. You're going to have fun, and so it is. Please welcome Elevation.
Hey, Ben.
Yeah.
You know what time it is?
It's Christmas time.
Yeah, it's Christmas time. You guys all been practicing real hard?
Yeah.
So Santa bring in nice new presents?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Oliver, you been practicing saxophone?
Yeah.
Santa's gonna bring you a new saxophone?
I hope so.
You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town.
Oh, yeah.
Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. He's making a list. He's checking it twice. Gonna find out who's naughty and nice. Santa Claus is coming to town.
Oh, yeah.
Santa Claus is coming to town.
Oh, yeah.
Santa Claus is coming to town. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good. So you better be good for goodness sake. You better be good for goodness sake. Oh, you better watch out. You better not cry. Better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. Ho, 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 ho. Well, he sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good. So you better be good for goodness sake.
You better be good for goodness sake.
Oh, you better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. Yeah. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. Sing with it. Santa Claus is coming to town. 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 Oh yeah. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. Whoa. Santa Claus is coming to town. 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 Ho, 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 ho.
Elevation! Amy Bishop, Oliver Miguel, Steph Chapman, Julian Lepage. Did I say that right? Okay, and Cam Dougal. Woohoo! What is it? Lepage. I was close. I didn't do it in the California way I was going to. Santa Claus is coming to town. So to our newcomers, we're usually much more serious than this. Do you believe me? Yeah, Bertie's like, I don't think so. Would you breathe with me, please? Take in a deep breath. And again. And one more time at your own pace. I just love that. I just love, now we're all on the same page. It's wonderful. So usually about this time of year, I do a talk about where many of our Christmas traditions that we really think about traditions come from. Things like where do red and green come from, and lights everywhere, and mistletoe and Christmas trees. Because what many people don't realize is that almost all of what we think of as our uniquely Christmas traditions actually have their roots, pun intended, in ancient pagan, earth-based religions and faith traditions. I mean, if you really think about this, I just want you to think for a second. If Christmas was really about the birth of a young Jewish boy in the middle of the desert in what is now Palestine over 2,000 years ago, then where do you suppose things like evergreens and Yule logs and Christmas trees and ivy and snow and Santa come from? Yeah. So a lot of the things that we consider to be Christmas traditions are actually ancient winter traditions that come from groups like the Druids and the Celts and the pagans. And this includes the legends of Santa Claus, Saint Nicholas, Father Christmas, Père Noël, and Kris Kringle, just to name a few. So today what we're going to do is we're going to learn a little bit about the roots and the traditions of this guy whom we all love, and figure out what it is about him that has captured the hearts and the imagination of people for hundreds, nay, thousands of years. So most people will agree that the original Saint Nicholas lived in southwestern Turkey about the 4th century. Okay, so you got to go back quite a way, right? And what would happen is that Saint Nicholas had a reputation of putting gold coins in the shoes and stockings of those who had been good. And then the children would place nuts and sweets and apples and little gifties around the house to welcome him. Now, St. Nicholas was a saint. That's how he got the name, Saint Nicholas, right? And he had a feast day that was a really, really big deal that was celebrated on December 6th. However, one of the popes back in the day decided that, here's the real secret, is that they wanted to get the Celts and the Druids and everybody to kind of join them. And so they said, we're going to take your winter traditions and we're going to tie it in somehow with this birthday of this kid that was born in Bethlehem, in the middle of the desert. Somehow we're going to make the two of them come together. So this Pope decides that December 25th is going to be celebrated as Jesus' birthday. So what happened was St. Nicholas's big feast day got blended in with December 25th and the birth of Jesus, which is how the legend of St. Nicholas got originally connected with Christmas. And then several centuries later entered the Dutch legend of Sinterklaas. Anybody Dutch here? How's it said? Claus? But you're Canadian, so it would be class. No. Okay. Anyway, here comes Sinterklaas, right? And he's a modified version, kind of, sort of St. Nicholas. And Sinterklaas would also put coins and sweets and stuff in people's shoes that were at the edge of the bed. I remember learning that Dutch people would put their wooden shoes at the end of the bed, and they would get gifts in there. And the children would leave stuff around the house, sweets and gratitude. Is this sounding at all familiar? Yeah, okay. Then, I just learned this one. In Scandinavia, there was the god Thor. And no, not that gorgeous guy in the movies. Dang, okay. Thor in the... Thor in the legend, the actual legend, was a jovial, friendly old man with a heavy beard and a heavy build. And according to legend, Thor wore red, lived at the North Pole, and drove a chariot that was being carried by 2 goats. Okay, so reindeer, goats, cloven hooves, okay, they're related, right? Getting it? Okay. And because Thor's element was fire, he entered into people's homes through the chimney. Ever go like this? Yeah. Now, of course, our modern day Santa that we know and love came primarily through that famous poem that was written by Clement Moore back in 1822 called, what? Visit from St. Nicholas, or 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. And in that poem, I feel like I'm teaching a class here. Come on, class. Okay, no, anyway, I'm going to get to the good stuff here. In that poem, Santa was depicted as a bearded man dressed in red who rode around in a sleigh drawn by 8 reindeer. And on the night before Christmas, he would go from house to house, and he would go down the chimney to fill the stockings by the fireplace. This was written in 1822. And then maybe 40 years later, a well-known cartoonist by the name of Thomas Nast drew a picture of Santa looking at a large book filled with the names of children who had been naughty and who had been nice. So it reminds me of a story. Santa is in the North Pole, and it's getting ready to come New Year's or Christmas Eve, and he's having a bad day. He goes into the workshop, and the toys are not ready to go, and then he goes into his office, and the elves have broken into his liquor cabinet. They drunk all his booze, and they were drunk, and he goes in, and Mrs. Claus is ragging on him, really having a bad day. I mean, Santa is up to here, and the doorbell rings. And he goes, and there's a little angel, and the angel has a Christmas tree. But the angel's in a bad mood too, and the angel says, okay, fat man, where do you want the tree? Thus we have the angel on top of the tree. No retribution from the lightning gods, I see. Okay. Okay, so this stuff may be interesting. I find it very, very interesting because I like to know the origin of things. I don't think you all came here for a lecture about Santa Claus. I think you came here because you want to be inspired, because you want to be spiritually fed, because you want to feel more so the presence of the divine in your life. So what is it about the legend of Santa Claus and about his tradition of gift giving and spreading joy that has endured all these years and all of these incarnations? I mean, we've seen at least 6 or 7 different incarnations. Well, I believe it is because the act of generosity and the act of giving is in our spiritual DNA. giving comes naturally to us because Santa Claus represents the giving nature of the universe, of spirit, of whatever you want to call it. And because we are a part of that energy, then giving is natural to us. And those of you who are parents and grandparents know what I'm talking about. You will go into debt every year to give gifts that you think your children or your grandchildren are going to love. And because you're giving to your children or your grandchildren, you have no expectation of return. You are doing it strictly out of love and the desire to see them happy. Well, the same thing is true about spirit, about that life force energy. It gives because it is its nature to give. Ernest Holmes put it this way: life, with a capital L, is an eternal givingness, the offering of the cosmic self to the joy of its own fulfillment. You and I are part of this joy, and we find fulfillment only as this joy passes through us to others. Everything moves in circles. We short circuit our own good when we refuse to pass it on. If you get nothing else from today's talk, get that. Everything moves in circles, and we short circuit our own good when we refuse to pass it on. So I'm reminded of actually a true story. This is a true story of a friend of mine in California. Her name is Lori. And one year she took her family shopping for a Christmas tree. And money was pretty tight at that time, but they wanted to find just the right tree at just the right price. So they gathered together, not exactly Charlie Brown trees, but they gathered together 2 or 3 trees that they kind of liked that was in their price range, and they took a family vote. And it came down to 2 trees. And her youngest daughter, who was maybe about 7 at the time, went over and hugged one of the trees. I love her, she's a tree hugger. Hugged one of the trees and said, "Mommy, this tree loves me." And then she hugged the other tree and she said, "This tree loves me too." Well, they didn't know, but there was a lady in the tree lot that was watching them. And they were laughing and they were debating and they were having a wonderful time. And she walked over to Lori. I get choked up every time I tell this story. She walked over to Lori and handed her some money and said, "I have so enjoyed watching your family pick the family Christmas tree. It has been a great gift of joy for me, and I would like to buy your tree for you." And at first, Lori did what most of us do. "Oh, no thanks, that's not necessary." But then Lori, who is a practitioner, realized that not only was the woman giving her a gift, but that Lori's acceptance of the gift was also a gift. To have refused would have been hurtful to the woman and taken away the pleasure that she felt by being able to give. Because there was something in that family's joyful interaction that touched her heart, and it felt good for her to be able to give. So by Lori's accepting that generous gesture, Lori was also giving back to her. Again, the circle was complete. And yet, how often do we make the mistake that Lori almost made? How often do we refuse someone's compliment? "Oh, gee, you look nice today," or a gift. "Here, I thought of you when I found this," or just simply a kind gesture. How often do we refuse it because we don't want to appear needy, or we don't want to appear like we, like we're conceited? "Oh, yes, I do look wonderful today," or, anything like that. But by refusing, what we are saying to that person is, "What you think doesn't really matter to me," or "I don't want what you're giving me," or "I don't need you." But here's what's so funny about this. When someone gives us a gift, we think it's about us. but it isn't. It shows that it's more about how the person feels when they are able to give the gift, whether it's a compliment or a kindness or a Christmas tree or a heartfelt, thoughtful gift. And the reason why it's important and true for us as human beings is because it is true for this divine nature. Because we are microcosms of the macrocosm. Do you understand what I'm saying? How we respond in this world is a reflection of the universe, especially when we are opening ourselves up and accepting generosity, giving generously. We live in a generous and abundant universe. All you have to do is look around at all the snow. And you know that there is abundance and generosity everywhere if we choose to see it. The challenge is we don't always choose to see it. We sometimes get caught up in those feelings of lack and limitation, and we don't think that our good is available to us when it is all of the time. So in some cases, we see it, we recognize it, but then we turn it down because we don't think it's meant for us. Anybody there? Anybody have an opportunity to come knocking on your door and you said either it's too good to be true or this can't be for me, so you turned it down? Not since foundations. There's our testimonial, Ben. You know what? I do got to say, sometimes things are too good to be true. I mean, in this world, especially these days, you got to be discerning. You got to be discerning. But most of the time, when something comes up and is here, this is for you. You check your gut. Is this for me? Is this true? And then accept it, because it is a grace of abundance and it is handing you a gift. So at this time of year, this is one of the most important spiritual lessons we can learn. That life is giving us everything and anything we could ever possibly want, but we have to be open to receive the gift. This was my lesson a couple of weeks ago about the upgrade of the hotel in Kelowna. We have to be open to receive the gift. Everybody go like this. Just open yourself up. How does that feel? It feels good, doesn't it? Now I want to be very clear that I'm not talking about just material gifts here. Material good is great, right? But it isn't the only part of the abundance of the universe. There's abundant love. Do it again. Accept that abundant love. There's abundant health. There's abundant joy. There is peace. There is beauty. There is prosperity. There is creativity. There is inspiration. Take it. Take it. These are gifts of the universe, and they are available to us when we are open and when we are willing to receive. Because giving and receiving are the two parts of the same coin. And the cycle is complete when we participate in it. So I have a treat for you now. I know. In honor of the big generous guy, not the big generous guy up in the sky, because we don't believe in that guy, but the other one that shows up this time of the year that we just had a history lesson on. I'm going to invite John Mitchell, one of the newer members of our community who has a voice like velvet, to come up and read for you A Visit from St. Nicholas by Clement Moore. Please welcome John. And the stage is yours and the microphone is there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I know.
Hello, everyone.
John, you need the microphone. There you go.
I'm not going to project that much. I I do need a microphone. There we are.
There we go.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. And I'd like to just ask you to join me now in this moment with a few deep breaths. Take a few deep breaths. And close your eyes. And imagine 'twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled, all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mamma in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled our brains for a long winter's nap. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from the bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters, and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new-fallen snow gave the luster of midday to objects below. When what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer. With a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be St. Nick. More rapid than eagles his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donder and Blitzen. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle mount to the sky, so up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with the sleigh full of toys, and St. Nicholas too. And then, in a twinkling, I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard of his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke, it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings, and then turned with a jerk, and laying his finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and they all flew away like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night."
Thank you, John. That was lovely. And Elevation, another just wonderful song. I just love our music today. Please welcome Elevation.
was awesome. Oh, wow. Old toy trains, little toy tracks, little toy drums coming from a sack, carried by a man dressed in white and red. Little boy, don't you think it's time you were in bed? Close your eyes, listen to the sky. All is calm, all is well. Soon you'll hear Kris Kringle and the jingle bells, bringing old toy trains, little toy tracks, little toy drums coming from a sack, carried by a man dressed in white and red. Little boy, don't you think it's time you were in bed? Close your eyes, listen to the sky. All is calm, all is well. Soon you'll hear Kris Kringle and the jingle bells, bringing old toy trains, little toy tracks, little toy drums coming from a sack, carried by a man dressed in white and red. Little boy, don't you think it's time you were in bed? Little boy, don't you think it's time you were in bed?
Elevation. Amy, I don't know that I've ever told you this, but when did the Bells album come out? 14, it feels like. So I have a great nephew who in 2014 would have been maybe 2. And I gave Amy's album to everybody in my family for Christmas that year. And he's grown up with that album, and that's his favorite song, Little Toy Trains. He's about 9 now.
That's wonderful. Thank
Yeah,
you for sharing that.
yeah. It's such a sweet little song. It's so sweet, yes. How you feeling? Good? I feel all warm, right? Even though it's not warm out there. I'm warm in here for sure. So this is my opportunity to let you know how you can support the center, live stream people, our love stream. Thank you so much for your consistent giving. Everyone, thank you for your consistent giving. And then also just this last time I'm going to talk about this, you know your donations are tax deductible. So if you need to get caught up with that, all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, I need to do that. Please think of us as a place where you are spiritually fed. That would be absolutely wonderful. And then you can use it against your taxes. You'll get a receipt in about February of this year. So I'm going to invite everybody to take their tithe, their gift, their offering, their donation. Hold it to your heart. You know that warm feeling that you're feeling right now? Just infuse that. And let's say our conscious giving affirmation together. I live in a universe of abundance. As I freely and joyfully give, I join in the divine flow, and all that I give returns to me multiplied abundantly. I am so blessed, and so it is. And so it is. And we're going to sing I Thank Love. We have other options, but I like the love one.
I thank love for everything. 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 Yeah. I thank love for everything. I thank love for everything. I thank love for everything. I thank love for everything.
Thank you, beauties. Thank you, ladies. And let's bring in the kids. Hi, Miss Niverbeth. Suzo.
Hi, so we had quite a lovely group today, and we read a little book about meditation and talked a little bit about the difference between meditation and mindfulness, and then we practiced some mostly mindfulness techniques, and we rated them from like, would we use them in the real world, or would we just like use them at home, and which ones you might use again, and so that was pretty fun, and we were a little judgmental, but it was nice to to test out a couple options and look at it realistically. So, and we did some card drawings and things like that. So lots of things happen, and thank you to all of the ones who came and joined us today. So,
Great, thank you. Give a hand to our kids. And to our teacher, give some love up to our tech guys up there. Give a little extra love to Elevation today. I just have to say something. I've been amused by this all morning long. Usually Oliver has an iPad with his music, with the sheet music on it. But he doesn't have it today, so he's been reading all of that complicated music off of his iPhone. This is the size of the font. You did pretty good there, fella. Okay, so we're going to do our closing blessing, so if everybody want to stand up. And then you want to stay for sure for the closing song, because it's a dandy. It is a dandy. So let's rub our hands together. Let's get them going. Like this, like this. Let's get them going. We're going to send this energy out to wherever it's needed, okay? So on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Whoosh. Have a blessed week. Stay warm, stay safe. I love you. Merry Christmas. And so it is.
On one Christmas day, a Joey kangaroo was far from home and lost in a great big zoo. Mummy, where's my mummy? They've taken her away. We'll help you find your mummy, son. Hop up on the sleigh. 2, 3, so up beside the bag of toys, a little Joey hopped. But it wasn't very long before Santa stopped, unharnessed all his reindeer, and Joey wondered why. Then they heard a far-off booming in the sky. White boomers, snow white boomers, racing Santa Claus through the blazing sun. 6 white boomers, snow white boomers, on his Australian run. Well, pretty soon dear Santa began to feel the heat, took his fur-lined boots off to cool his feet. Into one popped Joey, feeling quite okay, while his old man kangaroos kept pulling on the sleigh. Hey, 6 white boomers, snow white boomers, racing Santa Claus through the blazing sun. 6 white boomers, snow white boomers, on his Australian run. Well, Joey said to Santa, Santa, what about the toys? Aren't you bringing some to these girls and boys? Well, they've all got their presents, son. We were here last night. Here's an extra special trip, Joey's special flight. Here we go! 6 white boomers, snow white boomers, racing Santa Claus through the blazing sun. 6 white boomers, snow white boomers, on his Australian run. Well, soon they were passing right on over Marble Bar. Slow down there, said Santa, we can't be far. Hop up on my lap, son, and have a look around. There she is! There's my mummy bounding up and down! White boomers, snow white boomers, racing Santa Claus through the blazing sun. 6 white boomers, snow white boomers, on his Australian run. Well, that's the greatest Christmas treat that Joey ever had. Curled up in mother's pouch, all snug and glad. The last they saw of Santa, he was heading northward from the sun. The only day the boomers worked a double run. White boomers, snow white boomers, racing Santa Claus through the blazing sun. 6 white boomers, snow white boomers, on his Australian run. Have a wonderful week, everybody. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, all that stuff.